Welcome once again, my fellow manipulators of Digital Fate. I'm Richie, this is Capricorn, and today we're back at it with another standard deck tech straight out of Tarkir Dragonstorm Early Access. And this one's pretty interesting. We're going back to a deck that I made a couple of sets ago called Dragonkin. And that entire deck was built around the idea of using Leyline of Transformation to turn everything into a dragon, because I noticed we have a lot of dragon payoffs that are stapled to creatures that aren't dragons themselves. And I thought to myself, well, what if they could all give each other those dragon payoffs and then still have a top end of dragons, so that in those games where we don't get Leyline of Transformation, the deck still curves out the way you would normally want it to in a dragon deck, where your early curve has a bunch of creatures that can give you dragon benefits, and then you play all your dragons and you get those benefits, except with the extra addition of having Leyline of Transformation, so that in those games where you get to start with that on the battlefield for free, the deck is just cranked up to 11 with insane synergies popping off constantly every single turn. We already did that, but now that Tarkir Dragonstorm is here, we have access to so many more crazy dragons, so many more crazy dragon synergies, and this deck is just honestly absurd at this point. You have to see it to believe it, and we're gonna check out the gameplay in just a little bit. First, we're gonna break down the deck tech. Before we do, please like the video. It helps me get it out to so many more people and helps the channel to grow. Subscribe if you're new, because a ton of crazy decks from early access are on the way, and even more crazy ideas are on the way as soon as this set drops on Arena on Tuesday. So look forward to that. With all of that out of the way, catch me live Monday through Friday over on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/QuarantineCapricorn. Because if I'm live and I'm breathing, I'm there and I'm streaming. In fact, if you're watching this the day it goes up, I'm probably streaming live right now for community night. Every Sunday night we're doing community night over on Twitch. It's just games against you guys and chat all night long. So come be a part of that. Come hang out. And without further ado, let's check out this deck. So this is the new and improved Dragonkin deck. I'm calling it Next of Kin. And the idea is very simple. We did this back during Duskmourn. Or was it Foundations? It was Foundations standard. We're using Leyline of Transformation to turn literally all of our creatures into dragons. And normally Leyline of Transformation's just too much of a meme, because if you get the cards that work super well with it, cool, you're good, but if you don't, the deck is usually trash. It's like that for most tribal decks that you try to utilize Leyline of Transformation with, but dragons are a little bit different because they have a lot of support creatures that come down early while you're curving out that give you a whole bunch of synergy for your dragons. And then at the top end, you have all of your dragons that capitalize on that synergy. And that basic concept of a deck can still work fine without the Leyline of Transformation. You can still curve out with your creatures that are going to give you those synergies, and then start dropping your dragons and get those synergies. The Leyline just makes it crazier, because now all of those non-dragon creatures that are giving out dragon synergies also count as dragons and give each other all of the synergies, and it gets absolutely insane. The best new card to use with this deck is Dragonologist, a 3-mana 1/3. When it enters, you get to look at the top 6 cards of your library, reveal an instant, sorcery, or dragon card, put it into your hand, put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order, and then untapped dragons you control have hexproof. So, excuse my cough, I've been under the weather throughout all of early access, and I'm doing my best to get these out to you guys. But even if you don't have the Leyline out, Dragonologist comes down, looks at the top 6 for a dragon, and we've got 10 actual dragons in the deck, so it's almost always going to find one. And then it gives all of your untapped dragons hexproof, which is pretty good. They have to kill the Dragonologist first, right? But if you do have the Leyline of Transformation down, it's utterly absurd. Not only does it give itself hexproof immediately, and as long as you never tap it, it just keeps that hexproof forever, but it can also just find any creature in your deck at all, so you get so much more card selection off looking at that top 6 and getting to find a dragon. It's absolutely bananas. So let's start at the bottom of the curve and look at all of the ways we can synergize with Leyline of Transformation, and hopefully get a peek at some of the new cards in this from Tarkir Dragonstorm. First of all, we've got one copy of Mox Jasper. I was tempted to run more than one of this because it can be really nuts but it is legendary, so multiple copies do sit in our hand, and it's not like we absolutely need it to function. So if we do get it, it's just extra. It's just we can play things even quicker. And if we don't get it, it's not the end of the world. We are absolutely going to include the one copy though, because it is nuts. If we control a dragon at all, we just have to add a mana of any color. We can use that mana for whatever we want. We don't have to use it on a dragon. So as soon as one of our creatures comes down, if we have Leyline of Transformation out, we have a dragon out, we can get mana out of the Mox Jasper. We can start to ramp to craziness. In addition, we've got 4 copies of Dragonlord's Servant, a 2-mana 1/3 that is not a dragon, but will be a dragon with Leyline of Transformation, and it gives all your dragon spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. So every creature in the deck gets a cost reduction, which is just kind of absurd. Additional copies of Dragonlord's Servant only cost 1 to cast. Excuse me. Everything just gets absolutely bananas if you get one of these out early, especially with a Leyline of Transformation out. We've also got 2 copies of the new Sarkhan Dragon Ascendant. Comes down as a 2/2 for 2 mana if we have a dragon in play or a dragon in our hand that we can behold, reveal to the opponent. We just get a treasure token, so it basically only costs 1 mana. But if we already had a Dragonlord's Servant down with a Leyline of Transformation, the Sarkhan was only going to cost us 1 to play anyway, so it basically makes a treasure token to replace the 1 mana we spent, and it's almost like it's free, which is absolutely absurd. And then every time a dragon you control enters, you put a +1/+1 counter on Sarkhan, and it becomes a dragon and gains flying until end of turn. So it can actually grow into a ridiculous threat that costs you almost nothing to play, and potentially ramped or color fixed you. Really, really nuts in this deck. We've also got 4 copies of Invasion of Tarkir, because we can literally reveal every single creature in our hand and hit whatever we want for a massive amount of damage. But then also, if we flip the Defiant Thundermaw, like the Defiant Thundermaw is just nuts in this deck. If every single creature in the deck is a dragon, even those little creatures that we're curving out with, now we have the potential to attack with everything after Defiant Thundermaw is flipped and trigger to deal 2 damage with every single one of them, which is just bananas. Moving on to the 3-drop slot, we have 2 copies of Sarkhan Soul Aflame, another card that can give us a 1 mana cost reduction on our dragon spells, although it is legendary, which is why we're only running 2, just like the other newer Sarkhan. And also, when we play a dragon, we can have Sarkhan become a copy of that dragon until end of turn, which can get really, really insane with some of the dragons you'll see later. We've also got 4 copies of Kolaghan Warmonger. Hits the ground running, 3/2 with haste, immediately swings in and looks at the top 6 cards of our library for a dragon, just like the Dragonologist does. And if everything's a dragon, it can find whatever you hit. It can even find another copy of itself, which is kind of gnarly. This card is bananas. It's so good when you have Leyline down. And then we've got 2 copies of Rivaz of the Claw, which not only allows us to replay all of our dragons from the graveyard, excuse me, but we can also tap it for 2 mana in any combination of colors and use that mana to only play dragon spells. So it's another card that ramps out our dragons. We have so much that does that. We have the cost reduction from Sarkhan and Dragonlord's Servant. We have treasures from Sarkhan. We have the Mox Jasper. And now we have extra mana from Rivaz of the Claw. And on top of that, it just lets us play lets us play dragons from the graveyard as soon as he's out. Even if we never use him for mana, if we want to keep him untapped so that he still has the hexproof from Dragonologist, we can just use our normal mana and replay dragons from the graveyard. We don't have to tap him for mana in order to play things from the graveyard. We just get to play things from the graveyard when he's in play. So Rivaz is also absolutely bonkers. Moving on to the 4-drop slot, we have 3 copies of Scavenger Regent, which is a 4/4 flying dragon for 4, and has ward discard a card. So if we do play this as a threat, our opponent has to be at, basically give themselves card disadvantage just to get rid of this. They get 2 for 1 in order to get rid of it. But the main reason we're playing Scavenger Regent is not for the actual dragon, it's for the Omen. Exude Toxin, 2 black and X. Each non-dragon creature gets -X/-X until end of turn. Since everything in our deck's going to be a dragon if we have Leyline of Transformation, this can just be a one-sided sweeper. which just seems crazy to me. So yeah, we just kill all their stuff, our stuff survives, and we do the thing. Even if we don't have the Leyline out, there are still going to be opportunities for us to use the removal side of this. We might lose a couple creatures in the process, but we'll be able to keep our actual dragons, and it might be worth it. But even if we don't want to do that, we can always just play the dragon side, and it will be fine. So even if we don't get the Leyline going, and we just want to slam the dragon because we don't want to kill all of our non-dragon creatures, that's fine. This card's super good as a dragon too. So we're running 3 copies to try to increase the chances we can at least hit one of them, but we're not running 4. Instead of a 4th copy, we're running 2 copies of Hoarding Broodlord. It's a 7/6 flying dragon with Convoke, so we can actually tap a bunch of our dudes to play this way cheaper, and it can find whatever we want. So if we need the Scavenger Regent so that we can play Exude Toxin, we can find it with the Broodlord. We can find anything. We can find the Dragonologist. Heck, we can even find a Leyline late game if we have enough mana to play it, and it seems like that's the best place for us to be. Which is kind of nuts. But not only do we find it and tutor it up, we exile it, we can play it from exile for the rest of the game, and spells we cast from exile have Convoke. So we can also play out the other thing possibly right away just by tapping a bunch of our creatures, and if we're desperate, we might need to do that. So I think Hoarding Broodlord as a nice way to tutor up some of the key cards we need at just the right moments is really, really nice. It can be expensive sometimes, but the Convoke helps out a ton. I think 2 copies is really, really good. We've also got 1 copy of Lathliss Dragon Queen, which a lot of times we will want to search up with Hoarding Broodlord. Because with Lathliss out, every time a non-token dragon you control enters, you create a 5/5 red dragon creature token with flying. Since every single creature in our deck can be a dragon, every single creature that enters triggers Lathliss and gives us another 5/5 flying dragon, which is insane. As if that wasn't good enough, we can also pay 2 mana to give all of our dragons +1/+0, which, if we have a Leyline out, gives all of our creatures +1/+0. We can just jam a bunch of mana into that the turn that we want to Alpha Strike and just attack with everything and win. So Lathliss is super, super good, but it is legendary, so I think only playing the 1 copy and the 2 Hoarding Broodlords to maybe find it in those situations where it would be perfect for us makes a lot of sense. It's also worth noting that Lathliss is really cool with Invasion of Tarkir, because a lot of times you can play the Lathliss and then swing with your team at the Tarkir, flip it, and it's a way to get another dragon to enter the battlefield because you get the Defiant Thundermaw when you're out of mana. And it can trigger the Lathliss right away before you even have to give your opponent the opportunity to take their turn and untap and maybe be able to kill the Lathliss. Although, if it didn't attack, they're not going to be able to kill the Lathliss if you have the Dragonologist out. So, just a lot of crazy overlapping synergies in this deck, and it's awesome. The last card I want to talk about is probably the most important card in the deck. 4 copies of Terror of the Peaks. Since everything entering the battlefield is a dragon, this card is just nuts. First of all, if you just never attack with it, it gets hexproof from Dragonologist, and they can't kill it. And do I have to remind you guys, they can't kill the Dragonologist either because it gives itself hexproof, which is crazy. So it just sits there, and every single creature that enters the battlefield now triggers it, and you do that much damage to whatever you want. If you already had a Sarkhan Soul Aflame out when you played it, you could have Sarkhan become a copy of it until end of turn, and then you have 2 Terror of the Peaks in play, and every other creature that you play after that point is going to trigger the Terror, and trigger both Terrors and do a whole bunch of damage. Utterly absurd. It's so good. It gets even better if you have Lathliss out and you're spitting out extra tokens every time you play a creature, which is triggering the Terror of the Peaks. Everything about this deck is just awesome, but I really can't say enough good things about Dragonologist. This card is just nuts. Just seeing this completely shut down all of our opponent's targeted removal, and we're just going wide with all these dragons that they thought they'd have no problem dealing with because they've got a ton of removal in their deck, and then just not being able to, having to wait for a sweeper or whatever the case may be. It was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. The mana base is very specific. We can't play too many lands that give us mana specifically for dragons like I originally thought we would, because in those games where we don't have the Leyline, we need to make sure we're able to still play everything in the deck. So we have to go with a lot of traditional dual lands here. We're running a lot of these Surveil lands coupled with the Verges. It seems to be the best way to go for a deck like this. But we are running one Cavern of Souls to get a little bit of uncounterability in the deck. One of the brand new Maelstrom of the Spirit Dragon, because it can make a mana of any color for dragons, but you can also sacrifice it to find a dragon if you pay 4 and sack it. Which is really good in this deck because we have a lot of dragons that if you get the right one under the right circumstance, you can just take over the game. So we had to make room for a Maelstrom of the Spirit Dragon for sure. One Mirrex because it can spit out tokens that count as dragons, and that is definitely useful, especially when we have Terror of the Peaks in play and we can trigger that thing, or a Lathliss and we can trigger that thing. Well, Lathliss is non-token, right? So we won't trigger the Lathliss, but we can always trigger the Terror, which is super nice. And then one Plaza of Heroes, because a lot of our multicolor stuff, our early drops, Sarkhan, both Sarkhans, the Rivaz, stuff like that, they are legendary. So I think one of those to help get us a little extra mana for those cards, but also potentially be a little bit of protection for some of those cards later in the game, by being able to exile the land to give a legendary creature hexproof and indestructible, is really good. We might as well include one. Although, if you're going to make this deck, I wouldn't fault you for just maybe picking one of these lands and doubling down on it and doing like 2, 3, maybe even 4 copies of one of these, whichever one you think might be the best. But for this deck, we went with one of each. I think it worked super well, and the games were absolutely bananas, so I'm going to shut up. Let's check them out. We're going to keep 7 here. We'll submit the Leyline, pick Dragon. We would like a 2-drop, and we have plenty in the deck. Let's see if we can dig for one. Let's dump the land. Helpful Hunter? Well, at least he's slow during the game where we're slow. Can't ask for much more than that. Hoarding Broodlord. I think we dump it. 𝐒𝐿𝐵𝐿. Oh boy. Black Walker. Swing for 1. We've certainly got our work cut out for us. I think we need the Dragonologist first. We can block 2/2s with it. Can't use his removal on us. Sarkhan. I think we want Rivaz. It's tricky. It's definitely tricky. Enduring Innocence. Overlord. There's a good way to do it. I think getting access to 2 mana is better than one cost reduction right now. So I'm going to play out the Rivaz. It can also block the 2/2s decently well, which won't matter forever, but for right now it does. 5. So if we play the Sarkhan, we can then play the Terror, theoretically. Guardian. He gets to discard something to save it and still get the 2/2, which is really cool. Another Overlord. Another Market Back Walker. Would you like to draw 2 cards? He does. He does want to draw 2 cards. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to attack him right now. Silly. You silly. Seven mana. 5. I mean, this is what makes sense. This would be 8. You have to tap the Dragonologist, which feels really bad. Becomes a copy of itself. You can kill our Rivaz right now if he wants to. No attacks. We got some blockers. 6, 7, 8 mana. We can play the Hoarding Broodlord from the yard next turn if he doesn't kill the Rivaz. Fetch whatever we want. We'll probably fetch the Scavenger so that we can wipe his board. Just that guy. That's fine. No blocks. You do your thing. We got some flyers in the air. Dragonlord's Servant. Tarkir can do 3 damage to something. We'll just kill one of these. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need one more. Seven. Find the Scavenger Regent. If we had planned this a little bit smarter, we could have killed his entire board right now. Unfortunately, that is not the case. I think we just gotta hold back blockers for now. I don't love it. If we attack with the Terror of the Peaks, he's got 2 mana up. He's probably just got instant speed removal. So it's now or never, and we got 4 blockers. Broodlord can block the Guardian. 2, 3. He can get through for 10 or 11. That's really it. Leyline of Transformation with Dragonologist is stupid good. It's so stupid good. He's actually gonna go for it. He's actually gonna go for it. Okay. He knows he doesn't have very many options. So he just has to. We go to 6. Overlord. Get some dudes, draw some cards. My dogs are freaking out. Split skin doll. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Chupacabra. You can kill something. Oh, there goes the Rivaz. It's not bad. It's not enough. But it's not bad. Wipe your board, buddy. Hey. And schmacka. Ouch! Big ouch. Big time ouch. Alright, this looks pretty good. We don't have the greatest 2-drop, but we've got Leyline. We've got our best 3-drops. We're going to keep it. We'll submit. We will name Dragon. And we'll play the theater. We'll keep the land. Hoarding Broodlord. Let's ditch that. We want to be closer to lands and cheaper things. Voice of Victory. Keep the land. Do we want to kill this dude? We could kill him right now. We could also make a treasure with Sarkhan. We can wait, I think. Let's behold. But we won't show him the thing that we're going to play soon. We'll show him the thing that throws him off the scent. guess we force you to use your stuff. Like, we still get the treasure. Alright, stuff used. You've got 5 mana. Show you the Warmonger and do 3. And then we will play the Warmonger. And we will smash. Oh, we whiffed. That is like, when we have Leyline out, that's next to impossible. We mathed the deck to hell so that even without Leyline, we're always going to hit. So that's kind of wild, I'm not going to lie. See if he's got the removal. He should. We still get the trigger, though. Yeah, that's fine. Both of them are toast. Oh no, he's just gonna... Okay. I'm okay with that. And everything's got hexproof. What do we want? What do we want? So many options, dude. Let's grab Rivaz. 2, 3, 4. 4 mana. Can't quite play Lathliss yet, but once we get Rivaz out, we should be able to. Can also Hoarding Broodlord, but we need 1 more black. Alright, this is going to be sick. Watch how nuts this is. We can play stuff from the yard. We'll Undercity Sewers first and see if we want to dump something in the yard so that we can play it. That actually seems awesome. Let's do that. Let's play it. Smash, smash! He has to kill them both or we flip our Tarkir. No matter what, we get 2 cards to replace. Let's grab the Scavenger Regent. And we could grab another Dragonologist. I'll just grab another Scavenger Regent. Alright, he's just gonna chump. I mean... I think we got him. This board's insane. This board is absolutely banana hammock. Redingos. We can't play Lathliss and then Sarkhan, right? So we gotta play... the Sarkhan first. Behold a dragon. Get a treasure. Do we even want to play Lathliss? I kind of just want to, like, wipe his board and swing. So we'll attack with the things Only the things that we want to attack with that we don't want to die. Let's find a terror. Let's find another terror. Defiant Thunder Maw. Get a counter. We could play the other Scavenger Regent right now. But I'm not going to. We'll end the turn. War Leader's Call. Hey, Crispy. Lathliss. Swing with the Warmongers. I guess we can probably swing with the Sarkhan too. We want to hold everything else back though. Smack. Smack. Oh, he's tapped out. We just have lethal. We should have just done that. Oopsie. I mean, he's dead anyway. But, yeah, it's just insane. Again, no Leyline. But we can't expect to get it every time, so we have to try and make it work when we don't have it. Let's just keep it. Do we want the Dragonlord Servant? I guess probably. What you got for me? 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿? Let's find some stuff. Give me that terror. Give it to me. War Leader's Call, sure. Smash. Ping. Well then. Well then. I don't think we want the Terror of the Peaks yet. Because we need to protect it. We'll play the Dragonologist. Grab another Terror. Swing in here. Offer the trade. Grab another Terror. Could you imagine if this was a dragon right now? All of these would have got cost reduction from the Servant, and these guys would have hexproof. Crazy, man. Alright. If we play you, we don't have enough to play you. We need to play you so that we can turn on hexproof and turn on our Mox Jasper, and then next turn could be nuts, potentially. 3, 4, 5. I think we go Servant Terror. Do you have buff? What is he doing? Do you have buff? I don't expect this deck to have buff. I don't know, he just didn't realize that I went for a trip. 4 and 2. So we'll do this. And we will ping. And then we'll do this. And we'll smack you. We could attack. I'm not going to risk it. I'll just win next turn. So even without the ley line, the insanity has ensued. Play a terror. Schmack. Schmack.
It's all in the reflexes.
Schmack. 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 Good night. A one lander. We can't keep a one lander. This is better. We'll keep this. Put back. I guess we can put back a land, right? Name dragon. Play the falls. Get rid of the ley line. Seems pretty good. Dragonlord's Servant. Everything costs one less. We should be able to have a pretty insane play this turn. We can do this. And we can do this. Take action. Swing with them all. Hit for 7 and get 2 triggers. Which is kind of nuts. Glacial Dragon Hunt. 3 damage. Probably kills the Warmonger. Although if he was smart, he'd probably kill the Servant. Okay. He's gonna kill the Servant. Did we just play Terror of the Peaks? Take action. Smash for 8. Find a Dragonologist. Tursa. Discard. Draw. Get counters. All of that seems awesome. I don't know if it's good enough, but it's good. Dragonologist. Ping the elf. Let's find Lathliss. Decline. And then we'll go Warmonger. 3. Take action. Smash. Triple Kolaghan triggers. Oh my god, dude. Insane. Absolutely bonkers. Bonkers, bonkers, bonkers. Alright, we're gonna keep this. We're gonna submit that. We're gonna name Dragon. We will start with a Thundering Falls. Do we keep you? Yeah, I guess we can keep you. And we'll Mox Jasper. It's gonna take a couple turns before we can play it. We'll smack you for 4. That's fine. We could play Dragonologist. But I kind of want to Tarkir. To get the Defiant Thundermaw. But he's probably got removal up, right? Let's get the Dragonologist out first. Let's protect our board. Let's find our stuff. Let's grab Sarkhan. Sarkhan looks good. Zergo. Zoigo. Alright, how badly do we need to kill his Zergo? Probably don't need to yet. But we do only get to play one of these. We could Tarkir this, attack with both, kill the Zergo, but then he has the opportunity to kill Dragonologist. But at that point, we're so far ahead, I don't even know if it matters. No tax. You can't target it. Man, Dragonologist. What a card. What a card. We're gonna get you out. Copies itself. That's kind of hilarious. Do we attack with the Defiant Thundermaw? I think we should. You might have removal for it. But it is what it is. Oh, he didn't realize. It only has hexproof while it's untapped, sir. In hindsight, I shouldn't have swung anyway. He's got all of his mana open and the best 2 colors for removal. There's no way it doesn't die. And if that's the case, then it's pointless to just replace itself with another one. Decline. Red. Terror. Take action. We don't have a way. Whenever a dragon attacks. We want to keep our Terror of the Beaks. So we'll do it like this. Smack. Smack. Insanity. Insanity. These ones are now able to be targeted. But we have so much value out, it kind of doesn't matter. Two. Behold a dragon. Sure. Decline. I guess we just swing, huh? Get all of the Defiant Thundermaw triggers. Just every single trigger. Thanks so much for checking out my channel. I'd like to give a huge shout out to all of my patrons over at Patreon. Without you guys, this channel would not be possible, so honestly, thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of your contributions. If you haven't yet, like and subscribe. The more likes we get and the quicker we get them, the bigger this channel will grow and the faster it will grow. I'd love nothing more than this channel to become something very special for you guys, but it's entirely up to you how fast that happens. Also, if you'd like more deck techs, that's somewhere over there. And if you'd like to see what else the channel's been up to lately, that's somewhere up that way. Also, subscribe, circle below, do all the things.